What's going on YouTube? It's your boy CamATL and welcome back to another video. Drop a like down below because I already know you're gonna love it. Subscribe to the channel and make sure you comment anything down in the comment section to enter your name into the $50 giveaway that I do every single week on this channel. Speaking of winners, not yeah, last week's winner never contacted me on Twitter. So make sure you go watch the video from the beginning of last week. You never contacted me on Twitter for me to send the money, so make sure you hit me up. This last week's winner is going to be Peter Hammonds. Peter Hammonds is going to be the winner for last week. So I believe it was like the week before last. That guy never contacted me. And then this week, Peter Hammonds, make sure you hit me up on Twitter at cam_ATL for me to send the money over to you. Thank you guys for joining me. As always, we got another slate going on here. Sorry I didn't do a video yesterday. I was really busy in the morning time. Had a lot of stuff to do with my fiance. Had some errands to run, stuff like that. So I wasn't able to do a video, but we're right back at it. We cashed in last night. It's been an amazing NBA season so far. Let's just keep it going, man. 5-game slate. Love these small slates. Let's go ahead and get straight into it. We've got some pretty self-explanatory spots on this slate. All right. So, first things first, Kevin Durant is out for Brooklyn. That in turn is going to make many Brooklyn players chalky as hell, okay? That is going to include Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving might be close to 100% owned tonight, and rightfully so. Now, if you're playing GPP, if you want to take a shot at Kyrie struggling, I get it. You know what I mean? Because the ownership is going to be so high on Kyrie. If you're playing GPP only and you're just going for the gusto and you don't care if you lose and you're just willing to risk it for the biscuit, then you can fade Kyrie Irving in GPP. That's fine. I wouldn't do that in all of your GPP lineups, but if you're making one GPP lineup, I'd stick with Kyrie though. All right. Kyrie Irving, no Kevin Durant. Kyrie already has a high usage rate. He's already been balling. The dude's an absolute beast. And he's got a matchup against Utah that's been bottom in the league versus point guards matchup wise. So this is a prime matchup for point guards and centers here. Centers and point guards have done well versus Utah so far this year. Kyrie Irving, no Kevin Durant. I don't need to waste too much of your time going on and on and on about why Kyrie is in play. It's obvious, no KD. He's super chalky. And in cash games, I would not try to get cute, okay? Do not get off of Kyrie Irving in cash games. GPP, do your thing. I mean, you can do whatever you want here because, I mean, the ownership will be extremely high on Kyrie. So if you want to take that chance, now, Kyrie probably will have the highest usage rate on this entire slate. But if you want to take a chance, like let's say he goes out and sprains his ankle, you're immediately going to cash in big if you faded Kyrie. You know what I mean? So that type of situation, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to lock him in every GPP lineup. In this situation, I would have one or two. If I'm making 25, I'd have one or two without Kyrie. Next up, my next big spend that I love on this slate is going to be Jokic. All right, speaking of amazing matchups, Minnesota has been dreadful. All right, they're already bad down low against centers with Towns. Without Towns, it's just even worse. Okay, Minnesota has struggled so bad this year versus centers so far, and Jokic has been the best center in the league so far. The dude is averaging triple doubles. He's getting the assists, rebounds, points, but that's no surprise with Jokic. He's always done it, but this year he looks really really good. That weight loss from the bubble, and then he looks more like just toned up and just really really good right now. So Jokic's about to have a monster season. I don't care that he's 10-8 because he has 66 plus type of upside here against Minnesota. I absolutely love Jokic. The only thing you possibly worry about is a possible blowout, but at the end of the day, an only 5-game slate, a guy like Jokic who could absolutely break the slate, I'm down with just figuring it out, especially when we have the value that we have from Brooklyn with Kevin Durant being out due to COVID protocols. That's another thing to keep an eye on too. If the NBA ends up deciding, hey, these other players also need to sit as well because of it, then even more is going to open up. So keep an eye on that. You never know with the COVID stuff. All right. Next up, let's go shooting guard. I really love Karis Levert. Karis Levert is going to get a big usage bump here with Spencer Dinwiddie out and KD off the floor. With both of those guys off the floor, Levert has a very solid usage rate. Okay, him and Kyrie are going to run this offense. They are both going to have to be scoring to be able to get the W here. Okay, with KD out, that is a major loss for Brooklyn. Brooklyn's a solid team, but missing KD, that's a star out of your lineup. So Levert is going to have to be here with Irving, and they're going to have to be balling together. I like them both. Levert's 6'6". Even if you round that up to 7, I see 5x. I see 35 or more, even if you round him up to 7K. So he's going to get over 5x here. Most likely 6x. I love Karis Levert in this matchup. All right. Now let's talk a value of Brooklyn, because this is where you want to get all these value guys, man. All right. First guy is Cabarrot. Timothy Cabarrot. Timothy is a guy who, when he gets his opportunity, he's able to hit value. Now, don't get me wrong. He started December 28th and he smashed against Memphis, dropped 37, right, in 40 minutes. That's not a normal performance out of Cabarrot, but it's a bright side to look at, okay? December 30th, he did only get 9 in 26 minutes, all right? January 1st, he did only get 3 in 21 minutes. Against Washington, he got 22 in 24 minutes. This is not like a star or anything by no means. It's just the usage in general, and he should fall into value here at only 3.7. I'm expecting 20 or more here with no KD and that usage being up for Cabarrot. Cabarrot's not a guy who... He's just not a fantastic scorer, you know what I'm saying? So, but he will have those games where he can drop 30 or more. They're outliers. They don't happen often, but he does have those games where he could drop 30 or more. So, especially with KD, I'm willing to take the chance here at 3.7. Him expected starter at small forward with KD out, so I really like that. Now, I'm going to try to, because one of these spots, you got to try to get some lower ownership, okay? So where I'm going to attempt to do that, first and foremost, if LaMarcus Aldridge is out, I do love DeRozan again. I'm always going to love DeRozan for his safety standpoint if Aldridge is out. Also, remember that Memphis is missing a ton of people. It's a great spot there. All right. Also, I had Zach LaVine in here for a long time. Love Zach LaVine. No Markkanen. Missing a ton of guys from Chicago. Solid fantasy type of matchup here against Portland. They should be able to go back and forth here. Both teams should be running the floor pretty quickly. But the guy that I'm liking, that I'm expecting lowish ownership, that has a prime matchup, is going to be Bojan Bogdanovic. Now, on 5-game slates, you got to find somewhere to differentiate. Kyrie Irving will not be that. Levert will not be that. Cabarrot will not be that. And most likely, if anybody has sense, Jokic will not be that. So, with that being said, with those guys being possibly decently owned in their fantastic matchups, you got to differentiate somewhere. Okay, so as the day goes on, find out where you're imagining, like on these sites, you can get an idea of where people are gravitating towards, depending on what these sites are giving out, because a lot of times people will just go with what these sites tell them to go with and just not even worry about it, not look at anything else, okay? Look at those spots, see where those sites might be wrong and you don't agree with, and then pivot off of it, okay? And Bojan Bogdanovic is a spot that I'm believing we should be able to get lowish ownership on, at least beginning of the day I'm feeling like that. Bojan's got a prime matchup here. All right, Bojan's projected to start at small forward for Utah. Okay, now Brooklyn's weak point so far this year, they've been good versus point guards, good versus shooting guards, good versus small forwards. No, sorry, power forwards and centers. They've been good against everything except for small forward. Bogdanovic is the starting small forward, and this is Brooklyn's weak point. Okay, now you have to expect Brooklyn to know, okay, Donovan Mitchell is the guy we really, really, really need to keep from getting on fire, pretty much. You know what I mean? And this game should be able to be in the bag. Bojan Bogdanovic at 6'1". I'm calling it now. 6X's, gets 36 or more here in this matchup against Brooklyn. Running back the Brooklyn plays and at low ownership. I'm at least hoping, because the ownership on Donovan Mitchell is probably going to be higher than him. The ownership on Conley might even be higher than him. The ownership on Gobert might be higher than him. Bojan Bogdanovic is probably going to be the lower owned of the Utah guys, but yet he has the best individual matchup of all the Utah guys. So I'm hoping we can get low ownership on him. After me recording this video, maybe his ownership will spike about 10 points or so. But either way, Bojan Bogdanovic, love him in this matchup, running back Brooklyn. And like I said before, I was going to go like a LaVine or something in here because we have plenty of value on the slate. I love Zach LaVine with all these guys missing for Chicago. I love some of the Memphis guys with Memphis being so hurt and so many minutes up in the air. But LA probably will blow the doors off of Memphis. So make sure you get young guys who won't be affected by blowouts. And then... yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I didn't get Zach LaVine in here, but I do love Zach LaVine, and I want to make that known. I love Zach LaVine. Chicago has struggled versus shooting guards, so I love C.J. McCollum for GPPs at 8.4. So yeah, good luck, y'all. Kyrie Irving, no KD. Levert, no KD. Cabarrot, no KD. Bojan Bogdanovic, best matchup in this game here, going against Brooklyn, running back the Brooklyn guys, and then Jokic. He is getting expensive, but even if we round him up to 11,000, I think he drops a 66 type of performance here. If I'm just going to throw out a guess, I think he definitely has the highest upside on the slate today. And I got to go with Jokic against Memphis, the best straight up matchup on this slate. All right. Thank you guys for joining me as always. Drop a like down below if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And make sure you comment for that chance at $50 down below in the comment section. Thank you guys for joining me as always. And I'm out. Greenlightdfs.com. Peace.